Okay, so before diving into the session, I would like to walk through about your introduction. So would you mind introducing yourself?
Yes, yes, sure, sure. So, as you already know my name, I'm Lalita, and I was born and raised in Uttarakhand. But currently, we are living in Noida because my husband is working here. And I have done my master's in English literature. And after that, I did B.Ed. I was a
Okay.
teacher. Yeah, I was a teacher. I used to teach, but now it has been almost 6 years. I'm not teaching in any school, and now I am learning this language. And
Mm.
now I recently even I have also created my channel and where I uploaded English related content. Yeah, that's all about me.
Yeah, it is quite phenomenal, and I think the ball is in my court, and I should also break the ice on my
Yes,
introduction. So
sure.
this side Lalit, yeah, this side Lalit, I come all the way from Bulandshahr, Uttar Pradesh, and it's been like 7 years I have been working in Noida in private organizations. And apart from that, if I talk about my education credentials, so I did graduation in pharmacy in 2017, and
Oh,
it's been like 2 plus years to me. I have been endeavoring to learn this language.
okay, okay, okay,
Yes.
okay. So why you are learning this language? Is there any specific motto?
Yeah, exactly. There is a inevitable reason behind it because like where I'm working right now, here it is much significant that you must know how to deal with the people in English communication.
Mm,
If you
mm,
literally want to get rewards, recognition, promotions, and all in your particular
mm,
career growth,
mm.
so that is why I have started conquering this language, and still I'm in the pipeline to grow myself, to grow my communication in the manner of effective communication and all.
Okay, great, 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 great,
Yes.
great.
Well, what about you?
Great.
Like, how long have you been striving to victor this language, and what
Yeah,
all things are being done by you now these days
yeah.
to be more proficient in this?
Yes, yes, obviously. So I am learning this language. It's have been almost 2 years. Means I'm learning this language in a. I'm learning each and every aspect of this language, like where I do everyday reading, writing, speaking
Mm.
practice. So and listening also. And in that manner, I'm learning this language. And obviously nowadays I'm using this app also, and so that I can become more fluent and I can talk more.
Yes, exactly.
And that's how I started. Even though I have done my masters in English literature, but that time it was totally different. Means
Mm.
if I talk about compared to the language totally a different thing, and literature is totally a different thing.
Yeah, exactly. There are world of difference between both the things when it comes to speaking. So people always find lot many hindrances, including me, at the time of speaking when we are having any impromptu and any extempo
Hmm.
conversation with
Hmm.
somebody. So that
Yes,
time we
yes.
find lot many impediments while representing ourselves in a better version.
Hmm. Yeah,
Yes.
obviously, when we get a chance to for impromptu. Actually, impromptu mean that means we don't have any idea about the topic, what we have to ask or what we have to say at that moment. So for that,
Exactly. Yeah.
we should have each and every vocabulary. We should have a rich vocabulary, not each, but we
Mhm.
should have a rich vocabulary. We should have a knowledge of the sentence formation. We should have
Mm.
a knowledge of grammar also. So that makes, and we should have a good pronunciation also, accent also.
Exactly.
So that
Mm.
when it all the contents we are pouring into a bowl, so that it makes becomes and we can become a confident. That
Exactly.
confidence comes within.
Mm. So
So
the
these
thing is
are the
this.
components.
The thing is this, when we are learning something, when we are gathering something about the spoken English, so we must know how to put all the things in a bucket. And then
Yes.
we only can pick out the words, pick out the advanced structures, basic structures at the time of having conversation with somebody.
Yes, yes, yes. And it's important also how we have to put it in the bucket.
Exactly, yeah.
There is always a process. There is always a technique,
Mm, yeah,
isn't it? So
exactly.
sometimes we feel like that I'm stucking here. So because of not using proper technique.
Mm. But
So this is
as per my way of perceiving, people do not know thousands of technique to put the things in a bucket, to put the things
hmm,
in
hmm.
inculcate.
Everybody.
Always people are running in a rat race. They are just
Hmm,
looking after the people, those who are teaching out there on YouTube and many more
hmm,
platforms. So, but they are just teaching a specific way. By follow that particular path, you'll be able to speak this language, but not in a great version, not in a spectacular version, not in a impeccable version. But if you literally want to speak this language in a spectacular manner, so you, without doing any kind of scrambling, you must need to understand what are the techniques that is, yeah, those who are going to make you to speak this language in a proficient manner, in a wonderful and bombarding manner. Yes. Because when I was in my stepping stone, so that time I also didn't get any kind of stepping stones. By following that, I would be able to become very fluent and very communicative. Because that time I was working in vocabularies. I didn't have rich advanced structures, even though I didn't have basic structures as well of grammatical things. So that time I was finding lot many impediments and cumbersomes while articulating myself. And it's been like long time. I have been just taking the feedbacks from the people, they how they are improving and how they are working on their self in order to grab more vocabularies and advanced structures. So what was your strategy to learn this language?
Actually, as I already mentioned, means I'm learning this language in a whole manners where I every day I listen, every day I read, every day I write every day, and I do practice every day.
Okay.
So that is my manner to learn this language. And I'm not running behind the advanced vocabulary because I feel if I use one vocabulary at one day, so that is enough for me. But it's important when I'm using this vocabulary, it should be means I have to write this vocabulary and I have to frame my sentences. How, because if I'm listening any new word somewhere, so what happens, I means if I'm using that word in the same context, so that is good. But if I'm not writing or I'm not putting emphasis on that word from my side, so I will not able to get the how I can make this word in another formation or another sentence,
exactly.
or how
So
I
when
can
we
use this word in a different scenario.
So when we try to push forward any kind of vocabulary while speaking, so that time, like we feel stuck. We feel that we are scrambling while speaking because we are pushing forward. We are not learning the context of that particular word, like in which context we have to use, and we get to use that particular word.
Yes,
Right? If we know the context, then we can utilize that word in innumerable conversations, and we won't find any kind of impediments or hindrances while using that word in our communication.
Yes, obviously, because when you know the context, so then we can use this word in different types of context.
Exactly.
But how we can know, not only by listening, because we are just listening and we are just watching.
Yeah, we have to do huge research because this is not a low hanging fruit that anybody can anybody can plug it. It is a quite hard nut to crack, to remember the vocabularies and to inculcate them in the communication.
Yes. We have to imbibe ourselves into it.
Exactly, yeah.
Actually, language is kind of, it's an ocean. And when we go into it, deep down in it, then we know, when we start to fathom into it, so then we know, okay, how deep it is.
Exactly. It's a lifelong process. I also have got to know this thing when I started speaking little bit in a basic manner. So that time I was thinking that it's a lifelong process. It is never gonna end. So you have to keep indulge yourself with this communication, and you just need to keep connecting to the people, those who are speaking this language in a great manner. Then only you'll be able to become very fluent, very proficient, very communicative, and you'll be able to articulate yourself in a better version as well.
Yes. Actually, what happens when we are speaking, so then we are using all the aspect of the grammar, all the aspect of the language, all the aspect of the literature, all the aspect of the pronunciation, so that we can become able to speak.
Exactly, yeah.
So that's
then
why
only we
speaking
can
is
speak
important.
this language. Yeah, then only we can speak this language. If we are putting all the things all together, then we only can hit this language as per my way of perceiving and perspective.
Yeah. That's why it's a means lifelong process, because each and everything we cannot do in a one day or at a one time. So it's a process, and gradually we can go.
Exactly. Yeah. So when you started your learning journey, so that time were you able to understand this language or not?
Actually, means as I already mentioned, I have done my master's in English literature. So I was at means obviously I was able to when means comprehend. Suppose if I'm writing somewhere, if I'm reading somewhere something, some article or some, not in very advanced level, but yeah, in mediocre level, I can read and understand. But
Mm.
I was not able to speak.
Mm.
So that's how I started to speak. But these are the also means very important aspect of the language,
Okay.
because
Yeah,
at
yeah.
least
These are
when we are
very significant
yes,
aspects.
yes, yes. Because
Mm.
when you are able to understand, when you are able to read, so obviously that is a language, and you have to put in your words. So that's
Exactly.
how
Yeah.
I started. And
Mm.
even though when I
Exactly.
left my job, and after that, obviously I have a son also, so I was taking care of him. So what happens when you are in that mode? So you forgot everything, whatever you have
Exactly.
learned in your past. Then you have to relearn something, unlearn, and then relearn.
Yeah, I completely get around with you, because if you are not accustomed to doing something, so
Hmm.
obviously you are gonna leave those things behind. And
Hmm.
again, if you are going to kickstart those things in
Hmm.
your life,
Yes.
so definitely you're gonna face a lot many difficulties
Hmm.
while doing those things again and
Yes, yes,
periodically.
yes, yes.
Yes.
Even it's not a 1 day or 2 day game. Means it has been a long time for me, because after 5 years or 6 years I started to learn again. So obviously I have something I have to unlearn, something I have to relearn. So that was in starting. It was obviously it was difficult, but when you enjoy the process, so you feel good after doing that. So that
Exactly.
is important. If I'm learning this
Exactly.
language, but I'm not enjoying this language in any manner, like when I'm listening, when I'm watching, when I'm reading, so that means obviously na, it's difficult to us to learn this language. If I'm so to enjoy the process is important.
Exactly. When you are enjoying this process, it means that you have conviction on yourself, and your inner conscience are also allowing you to grab more and more content about those
Hmm.
things.
Hmm. Hmm.
Right? That time you
Yes.
don't scramble anything, and you just put
Yes.
forward everything,
Yes.
whatever the things you are incorporating in the
Yes.
communication. And if you
Yes.
are learning something, so you are willing to grab that thing, and you are willing to inculcate those
Yes.
things in your brain for long,
Yes.
so that,
Yes.
because you must know that you are definitely gonna use them or gonna utilize them in your communication while speaking.
Yes. 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 Obviously.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm. Okay, so so as per your way of perceiving, I would like to know one thing from your end. Like, as you told me that you have started doing all the aspects of this English communication. So do you really think that reading is literally a drastic reading brings the drastic transformation in the people?
Yes. Reading. I think reading everything. Even 50% role of reading.
Okay.
Because when you read aloud or when you read, it's not only about the one thing. Actually, reading can gives you a lot of things.
Mm.
It brings lot of changes in your life. It's not only
Mm.
about the language.
Mm.
It gives you a lot more than that.
Okay.
So what happens when we read aloud? Obviously we are getting knowledge, and we are getting words, we are getting vocabulary, so that is a thing obviously. But what happens when we read aloud? So our muscles read aloud is important, or not only reading,
Mm.
reading aloud is important. Because
Yeah,
when we read aloud, so our all the muscles get trained.
exactly.
I
Yeah,
still
you.
remember when I was in a class, or our teacher always used to say, read aloud, and everybody got a chance one by one to read aloud.
Mm.
But that time I was not aware. Okay, we were not aware. Okay, why we were doing this? It was just like a formality to us. Everybody
Yeah,
is getting
exactly.
chance. After that, we have to be cautious. And okay, after that, it will my turn will come.
Mm. So in
But
my primary days, yeah, in my
yes,
primary
yes.
days, I was also sailing in the same boat. So when I started speaking English words, so that time I was fumbling a lot. I was just
Hmm.
mispronouncing the words. I was thinking,
Hmm.
like, I was completely astonished, like how the people are able to speak this language in a confident manner, and how they get lot many vocabularies, innumerable of
Hmm.
the sentences while
Hmm.
speaking.
Hmm.
Like, do they
It's not
beat
only
around the
about the
bush?
vocabulary. Yes, yes, yes.
Mm.
It's not
Mm.
only about the vocabulary, it's about the ideas also. Actually, vocabulary comes later, because suppose if I'm using a lot of, so what happens? Vocabulary comes gradually.
Exactly. When you are accustomed to, when you are in the habit of doing something, so that time you won't find any kind of difficulty while
Hmm.
implementing them in your
Hmm.
communication.
Hmm.
This is like I completely accord with you because I also have witnessed the same thing in my communication as well when I was in the stepping steps. So I was also looking forward for the improvement in my communication, and
Hmm.
that's how I told you that I was gathering lot many information about the spoken English from the people, those who
Okay.
could help me, those who could support me, those who could teach me something like uh, by incorporating those kinds of things, I will also able to represent myself in a great manner.
Hmm. 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 And how long you have been learning?
Yeah, as I told you that it's been like 2 years to me when I started my
Okay.
journey from the scratch,
Okay.
and
Okay.
still I'm in
So
the
are you
process of.
feeling? Yes, yes. So you are feeling changes in your life or in your thinking or in your perspective after learning
There
this
is one
language?
thing. There is one thing I have been witnessing this thing in India, particularly when you are not able to utter this language, because this is prevalent completely now these days.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
if you
Hmm.
are not able to utter this language, so you would be considered waste of a space, right?
Hmm.
And if you are able to utter this language in a great and in a impeccable manner, so everybody would appreciate you, everybody would recognize you, and everybody would encourage you that you are such a
Hmm.
great personified, and you have started conquering all the things in a great manner, right?
Hmm.
So people
Actually, yeah.
get reward and recognition, people
Hmm.
gets gratitude, people gets many more things apart from
Hmm, 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 hmm.
yeah.
Actually, it's not only about the that thing. Obviously, we cannot deny with that because when if you are good and if you are confident in this language, if you know this language very well, so we can get lot of
Mm,
things in respective of money and all, and good
mm,
position. But the thing is that it's about the language also, and we obviously when we speak in our mother tongue, suppose when we are talking in our family or with our
mm,
friends, so obviously that time we cannot we cannot deny to our mother tongue also because this is also it's a good language, and a language is all about the medium of communication. When we
definitely.
communicate, so it should be not only about the okay what I'm saying you are getting or what you are saying I'm getting. It's more than that. So we
Exactly.
cannot say our mother tongue is obviously mother tongue is also important, but to grow in life and if anybody want to grow in excel in their career, so that importance is also important. This language is also
Exactly.
important.
Yes.
Sometimes we feel like that okay means it's not only about the means we cannot deny okay we cannot say our mother tongue is like that, but our mother tongue is helps us to communicate with the people in our surrounding, but this language helps us to grow and to go if we want to go higher, or anybody if anybody we are getting chance we can take at least we can take the opportunity.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can take the opportunity and we can grab them as well if we know.
Yes.
Because what happened when I was still I have been working with the same organization. So it happened 2 years back, and that incident made me to learn this language actually. So what happened out there? And that time was completely blown because I was rejected in an interview, and I was thinking like on the basis of just this
Hmm.
communication, I was not able to
Hmm.
grab that particular opportunity.
Hmm.
That was
Hmm.
very inevitable for my career growth.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
when I
Hmm.
lost that particular opportunity, that time I got to know the value of this communication, that I also have to triumph this language at any
Hmm.
cost. And I started working on myself. And since then, I have been taking the bull by the horns, and lot
Hmm.
many things I have applied in my communication as well.
Hmm.
And still, I have been gathering lot many informations about the spoken English so that I can mitigate all the problems and impediments in my communication.
Yes, yes, yes. Totally, totally rated. But that is important actually, obviously. And
Exactly.
now now you are getting and you are practicing, so you can see the difference. Obviously, you are feeling confident. I can see the word you are using and you are using at that manner. So obviously that is good.
Yes, exactly.
And
Because
gradually, yes,
mm,
gradually this process makes you confident. It
exactly.
brings
So
confidence within you.
still I face one difficulty. Like it is okay to have conversations with the people, but simultaneously when I get the chance to have conversation with my FLMs, with my ABP and
Hmm.
manager, so that
Hmm.
time I find like couple of difficulties while articulating myself.
Hmm. Hmm.
So
Hmm.
because I'm not accustomed to handling those conversations, I think so that is why I have been having such kind of impediments while dealing with
Hmm.
them.
Hmm. Hmm.
Otherwise,
Hmm.
I'll be able to conquer those conversations as well because I'm not having are not having those calls on regular or consistent basis. Yeah.
Actually, what happens now? This fear, or it's come because we have a fear of the judgment, and the
Hmm.
people whom know we know. So obviously, we feel like that. Suppose if we are means unknown with the people, so we can talk easily. But if we have a fear of judgment, okay, if I will speak, so what he will think, how he will think, in that way
Exactly.
how he will judge me.
Yeah. One more
So
thing is there. Yeah. If
yes.
somebody is supporting you in that particular manner, if
Hmm.
somebody is providing you any kind of back influence, so that time you'll be able to embrace that conversation. But if
Hmm.
the other person is judging you on the basis of
Yes.
your communication, so
Yes.
that
Yes.
time definitely you're
Lot of
gonna, yeah, you are
yes.
not gonna break the ice in a great
Yes,
manner.
yes, yeah. Even you are doing good, but somebody is staring at you, so you feel like that. Okay, I'm doing something wrong, and your confidence just goes down.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So that time, I mean, it's very important. Whatever you are delivering, so you are delivering in that manner. If people are, even though people are staring at you, but you have to go with your pace,
Okay.
and
So
it will come, and it can happen by practice only.
okay. So
Because
I'm gonna ask.
the person who are staring, or they are at that position, so they are also came with that same process.
Exactly. Yeah, yeah, they also have gone through with the same process,
Yes.
but we should provide the ambience. Like if somebody is
Hmm.
trying to,
Hmm.
if somebody
Thriving. Yes,
somebody is
yes.
endeavoring to grow in communication, so we should
Hmm.
actually bear those things. Like if somebody is making any kind of mistakes
Hmm.
or
Hmm.
any kind of hindrances while speaking, that is
Yes,
okay. That is the
yes.
process of learning. But
Hmm.
if somebody is not wearing, if somebody is not allowing you to speak something, and if
Hmm.
you are making any kind of mistakes while speaking and you are knocked down in that particular situation, so that time you start hesitate and you find lot many difficulties while representing yourself, and you
Hmm.
get stuck and you scramble a lot while speaking. I have
Yes,
witnessed
yes.
personally this thing.
Yes, yes, yes. Totally, totally agree with you. It happens, it happens. And
Okay, so
yeah,
I would like to
yes,
know one thing from your end, and this is my last question, but not the least. And the
yes.
question is, now these days people are having lot many miseries, wheel and boy, tensions, botheration, and mental stress in their life. So according to you, what's the cause behind it? Like people are having so many hindrances in their life.
Actually, not only one cause, I think, which I feel there are a lot of reasons, obviously, because the family you came and the people who are surrounded with what type of work you have. It's not only about the reason. There are a lot of, and everybody is different. Everybody reasons are hindrances are different. Everybody's difficulties are different. But if I take a common perspective of the people, so we should not think. The first thing we should never compare to ourselves with someone else.
Hmm.
The moment we started to compare ourselves with someone else, so that compare makes us and at last we just get frustrated, nothing else we can get.
Hmm.
So I think
Exactly.
this is the common phenomena which I feel. But more than that, there are a lot of some another reasons also. But comparison, I think it's a kind of enemy for
Yes, you
each
are
and
right.
every. Yeah, yeah,
Hmm.
if for our growth.
Hmm.
Because what happens when we see to someone else, so we feel like that, okay, his life is so smooth, only I am the person whose life is not going good. And we
Yes.
cannot see, okay, how hard work he has done, how hard work she has done, and what they are doing, how they are doing, because we feel everybody is happy except me.
Hmm.
It's
Yes,
a human
exactly.
brain. Yes, we are
Hmm.
human,
Yes.
so it's very obvious for us. It's not for anybody, for anybody. And we always feel,
Exactly.
okay, everybody is happy except me, everybody is enjoying
Exactly.
his or her life except me.
Yes, you are completely right, and you have hit the nail on the head, because I also have been witnessing this thing that when we start comparing ourselves with others, so that time we
Mm,
start getting lot many like
mm,
difficulty in our conscience,
mm, mm,
like
mm,
how he is able to live delighted life and
mm,
how he's getting all the things in his life,
mm,
and we
mm,
don't focus on the
mm.
hard work of that particular person.
Yes, yes,
That
we
is
started to
that
judge.
Yeah.
Mm,
Yeah, that has been done by that particular person. So we
mm,
first need to focus on the struggle,
mm,
obstacles. They
mm.
all were faced by that particular person who has achieved that
Yes,
particular goal. So if we literally want to achieve our goal, if we literally want to
yes,
vanquish something in our life, so we should also doing some struggle, and we should
yes.
also start some uh, exercise. Those who are going to bring lot many
Mm,
changes, lot
mm,
many
mm,
drastic transformation
mm.
in our life.
Physical exercise, we can do anything which we like. It's not only about the music, dance, whatever, but we should put a time for, we should keep a space for ourselves. That is mentality.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
at least 5 minutes a day, 10 minutes, and not more than that. If you are not getting it too much time, but at least for sitting with yourself and having time, some time, whatever you like. That is
And we should,
important.
and one more thing is there, I would like to spill the beans about that thing as well. And one more thing is there, that we should surround ourselves with those people, those who are having
Hmm.
optimistic thought process,
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
optimistic mindset. If we are
Hmm.
surrounding ourselves with the negative people, those who are
Hmm.
having already misery in their life, those who are just going back into their life, so we are also gonna get the same ambience, get the same
Hmm.
vibes from them.
Hmm.
Like if
Hmm.
we
Hmm.
literally want to grow by leaps and bounds in our life, so we should onboard those people, those who are going to give great outcomes in our
Hmm.
life as well.
In our office.
Yes.
Totally. Yes. Yes.
Okay. Then I'm done with my questions. If you have any question, you can bring them up. Otherwise, we are good to wrap up this call right
Yes, yes,
now.
we can wrap. Yes, yes, we can wrap up.
Okay,
No
then.
problem.
Thank you
If you
so
want to
much
give
for
me any
connecting.
suggestion or any feedback, you can give. And yeah,
Yeah, you are such a great speaker, I would say. Just keep the momentum continue. And as
yes,
you
yes,
suggested me that I also have been just keeping the momentum continue, and that is why I
yes,
have been getting little bit conviction on myself.
yes,
So
yes.
you are also gonna do the same thing, and you are definitely gonna do rock in this communication. And my best wishes are with you.
Same.
And I hope
Yes,
you'll be able to vanquish everything whichever you have desired or aspired in your life.
yes, yes, same from my side. I also feel very good to meet with the people who are in the same or the same creator, such kind of
Hmm.
journey they have started. So I also feel very good after talking with them.
Okay, then. Thank you
And
so
yeah,
much for connecting with
yeah, it's a
me.
great meet.
And
Yes,
slow fit.
same from.
Thank you.
Thank you.